Hi and welcome to the Unisa CSET podcast, a platform where we talk all things science, engineering and technology at Unisa. We are still in Women's Month, and as part of our Women's series, today we are joined by Ms Jane Ramanamane, who comes from the School of Engineering and Built Environment at our college. Welcome, Jane.
Thank you for having me. It's quite an honor and privilege to be joining you.
Thank you so much for stopping by. Perhaps as a first thing that I'd like for us to talk about, it's firstly congratulations on your recent win. I know you've been recently selected as one of the college winners at the Teaching and Learning Festival that we had just the other week. Tell us about that. What did that entail? So sort of give us like a high-level summary of what your presentation was about at the festival.
So my presentation was about module design, the module that I designed for first year modules in fluid mechanics engineering. And it was giving back to my students to show them that and showcasing that what we are teaching at Unisa, it's quality assured.
Yeah.
And it was mainly about the designing of the module and the student support. And mainly the takeaway from me, it's supporting differently able students through the module that I teach and taking them to the lab and so on.
Wow, that's very interesting. Maybe we hopped on it too quickly, but maybe to circle back, what is your role specifically at Unisa's College of Science, Engineering and Technology? What is it? We hear that, yes, you are teaching, but what do you do?
My role at Unisa, we are measured in 4 KPIs. I'm a researcher, a teacher, and academic citizenship, and also giving back to the community through community engagement.
Yeah.
But my position here at Unisa really is not to work, but it's to serve.
Yeah.
I'm doing what I love. I'm doing that, what I call is a purpose. I'm living in my purpose where I serve the student, not only the student, but I also serve as the engineering, giving back to the community and also, doing an impact in the women's field because, with the barriers that women had previously, that as a woman you cannot be exposed to being mechanical engineer, but here we are at Unisa, we are doing it and showcasing that women can be productive as well at the engineering field.
Sure. No, thank you so much for that. And I'd like us to touch on this part that you've just spoken about serving, because that's what the mantra of the university is, about serving communities, serving the Africanness. So I'd like for you rather to tell us what challenges, if there are, especially with a person that is also working with differently able students, as you said. Are there any challenges that you encounter? How do you work around those?
There are challenges. Every day has its own blessings, challenges, and smooth ridings.
Yeah.
So where I found it to be very challenging is when the differently able students are not opening up because perhaps they're afraid. Because I had interviewed one to say that why initially you were not being comfortable to reach out to the lecturers to say that this is the problem that I have. They said that they were afraid that they would be excluded from the academia. So they did not, or being exposed to what Unisa can offer. So as I offer myself to be submissive to University of South Africa and be serving the University of South Africa, I managed to reach out.
Yeah.
I have an 8-year-old boy living with disability with a permanent brain damage. So I learned that I need to open up before at the class to say that, look, this is the child that I have. I understand you living with disability, so that with that story, then the student can come and offload or perhaps open up. I had a student, I won't name his name because it's confidential. So I could see that when this student writes, he writes so well, perfectly, question 1 and 2 on the test, and the rest could just fall off. And then from then I had identified that I had the student on a system for 2 consecutive semesters.
Yeah.
There should be something that is not fine with the student. He's getting the answers correct, but he's not finishing his work. I reached out. Then immediately when I reached out to the student, I could hear from his speech, because remember, I have a son who's living with disability, who's differently able. So I could pick up from his speech that something is not right.
Yeah.
So I had with my story to say that, look, this is the situation that I live in, but I'm worried that I'm having you for 2 consecutive semesters and you are not progressing. What is the problem?
Yeah.
Then that's when students open up to say that I have a brain problem, and also when I write, when I look at the time, I fall into anxiety and stop writing because I can no longer think. So as a parent,
Yeah.
as a servant of the university, then I had to come up with a plan, and student passed through the strategic, assistance that we put through for the student.
Wow, that's incredible, and it's something that I believe that the university also sincerely appreciates, to have employees of your caliber who are able to go above and beyond their call of duty. Because if you think about it, yours is just to lecture and that's it. You get whatever outcomes that come from it. But the fact that you go above and beyond, you bring your own personal experiences into making sure that your students are fully supported, I think that's highly commendable. Now, speaking also of that, we cannot deny the fact that out there, it's still sort of not fully understood how does one study science, engineering in your case, at a distance. I know that you were a student at Unisa before becoming a researcher. So can you take us through that journey of how it works? How is one able to study for engineering? Because Unisa is known to be distance learning or correspondence institution. So how do you study, and then also how do you teach? Because now you've played both roles. If you can just reflect on that.
Let me take you back through my journey a little bit as bits and pieces of the highlights. So here I am from the rural's humbling beginnings, I would call it. And my dad, he's a man who is in mechanical engineering field, working with tools and everything.
Yeah.
I think the inspiration, bit of a spark came in from there, but I didn't know at the time.
Yeah.
As you grow up, you don't know the journey where you're going to land, but the passion is being built up from where you come from.
Yeah.
And here I am, finished my matric and didn't apply for the university. I didn't land at Unisa. I was called at Unisa. And we go there with my mom for my registration. And then when we get there, they're like, you didn't apply, and so on. But you know what? Happy Women's Month to the women who assisted me at Unisa. Because when I got there, I remember we left Joburg late. Unisa had a branch at Johannesburg. We left late. And the women were like, help that lady from Sebokeng. Please help her. She's been here from the morning.
Yeah.
And they advocated for me. And from that day, I think that's when my passion started. With all the critiques and criticism of studying at Unisa, because God calls you to a place so that you will be a perfect example at the end of the day. People I grew up with, they went to full-time universities, and here I am, I'm corresponding, and I don't even know what correspondence is.
Yeah.
Then I get to Unisa, but I thank Unisa with the systems that they put in for us, because today I'm putting it out there for the youngsters to know that Unisa is not only about the correspondence, but it's the systems that they put through, the tutorial sessions that were there, the lectures who were there at the time, the Saturdays sessions that we had. They were very interactive, and they took me in.
Yeah.
Yes, as a woman, there were critiques to say that then as young as you are, how are you going to hold spanner or fix the cars? That is the stereotypic that we are here today and trying to preach and break as women, to say that engineering is not all about fixing. It's also about the research. It's about the impact that you're going to leave, and that the assistance that you're going to bring, and the mentorship. Then fast forward on the story, here I am, I'm landing into, I remember Unisa had the support of the students who I was feeling emotionally down to say that people are criticizing me to be in mechanical engineering, but I still chose it over and over and over again. And fast forward at Unisa, I got cum laude. For my degree and also for my master's, it's cum laude. So it is really doable at a distance through the support that we are offering, even now better, because you can interact with your lecturer at any time, at any given point. I have communications that I send through my students around 2 p.m. Around 2 a.m. At the night, where I encourage my students to not give up, because I do understand that they need the assistance that it was offered to me.
Absolutely, absolutely. And thank you for reflecting. I like the part where you mentioned that for engineers, it's not just about breaking and fixing things, but there's more to it.
There's more to it.
There's certainly more to it. So I want now for you, I think this year has been a year that has kept on giving for you. You've been announced as a winner, Teaching and Learning Festival. You are now going to compete at institutional level. Also the DHET outcomes earlier this year, I think you were one of the recipients of a grant or a funding that is coming from DHET. So there's been quite a significant number of accomplishments that have come your way since the year started. I want you to talk to us about what success in academia looks like for you. What do you say, or what boxes do you feel like, once I've ticked these, then I know I'm good?
I think success, it's not a destination, what I would call. A success, it's what you build in a daily life. Because what I look at it as a success, when I arrive there, it may not look as fulfilling as I think or would have thought it would be. So success for me, it looks like a learning journey for me. Subjecting myself to being tested, subjecting myself to be critiqued. Because there are several grants that I received for this year apart from that one. USDP as well, and also NRF for this year. And also I'm called for NUTA, National Teaching Awards interview as well. I'm being shortlisted, but I cannot say they are success or achievement. So for now I don't have a fulfilling answer as to what success would look like, but what I can tell you is that I live to break the stereotypings. To say that women can also do it. Women can be also a mother in the class. Women can also be mother in engineering and all the bodies that they serve under. And the sky, it's no longer a limit for anybody. So that is the success, how it looks like for me. And also to give back to those who need. We mustn't forget that we started from the humbling beginnings. So let's go back as Unisa and give back to those students. So every day, success, it's when the student comes to me and open up so that they get the assistance that they deserve. That is a success day for me. And building on that successfully as a nation or as a country through Unisa, when we succeed, that's my success.
Wow. Sure. There's just so much to take from that, and how you pour yourself and also bring in that motherly instincts that you say that you can also be a mother within the space which you teach in. So that's beautiful. How do you deal with no's? I can imagine that it's not always a smooth sailing where you apply for funding, you get it, you submit a paper, you get the response that is favorable. So in instances when you are told no, how do you deal with that?
Every researcher can tell you about that one. First, it's how you position yourself. It's very important as a woman. This is Women's Month. I will talk mainly on the woman than anything.
Go for it.
So as a woman, as I already said, that when you become selfless for other people, to show that this is working, you take a punch. You're the first one to take punch. So I remember my first international journal, whereby I received the comments. I was sharing with one of the colleagues the comments that were hammering me,
Yep.
that were humbling me. So it's a humbling journey.
Yep.
Then I learned to position myself. I realized that it's not just a no, but it helps me to position myself. Are you thinking that you know, or you are positioning yourself as a learner? Then I learned to be humble, to position myself as a learner, so that those comments, I can take them as a positive bread for me or a brick to lay my foundation. And after that first journal, I learned to thrive. I learned to look at the things in a positive eye, that maybe this is a no, but it's a redirection. It redirects my steps as to then what's next? Then what are you looking for? So even with the excellency that I received, or the awards that I was a nominee at, I was always humble to say that I'm here to learn. It's not all about the prizes, but it's to show people that you can also do it.
Yep.
You can also be at the position where I am. I'm not there as yet because I'm still student, remaining behind, the desk for God to teach me as well, as to who I am. Because if you don't fail, you don't get to know who you are. You don't get to know how to respond to the matters that you need to respond to.
Absolutely. So failure is not a bad thing.
It's not, definitely.
It's just redirecting you to another way to have an outlook on a particular aspect.
Definitely.
So, no, thank you so much for that. And as we're winding down to a close, I'd like for you to share with us, especially the young and upcoming girls or women who are considering taking up a career within the sciences or the engineering field, what would you say to them? What words of encouragement would you say? Is it worthwhile? Should they come in, or you advise against?
Absolutely. And to the young ones, my advice is, Unisa, it's not just a university for me. It's more of a home. I've been babied here.
Yeah.
The professors who knows me from my previous life, I was honored when a professor during the awards came to say that I remember you, because he remembered me before where I am today. So absolutely, I would like to say to the young females and everybody out there, Unisa is not scary. Unisa is more of a home. You have the support that you need, from all angles of life. Mentorship, fatherhood, motherhood, sisterhood, even friends, also from this multilingualism that we are trying to infuse into our teaching and learning. We are breaking the barriers of the language of people who are saying, it's just monolingual university, but we are bringing multilingualism. So I would like to encourage them to come. Look, we are not there. As we said, the sky is not limit. We have not arrived, but this is the best place that I can call the student to come and join us. Ultimately, I think being humbled, that's the advice I would like to give. Because when you are humbled, you learn to position your priorities and feed into your priorities. The end goal is for you to attain your qualification and to thrive in life. And you respect, and don't forget where you come from, because me as a teacher, I remember where I come from. So that's why when the student struggles, then I get to pour myself. So don't forget where you come from. You will never even forget your priorities or where you are intending to go.
Wow. No, thank you so much for that. And maybe lastly, what are you currently working on? What research projects are you involved in? Are you looking to take in any students? What's currently happening in your research space that you can share with us?
Well, what's currently happening in my space, I'm co-supervising students with my PhD supervisor. And yes, I'm still pushing some studies, and still showcasing the work that we do in class with my students and looking for more collaborations. As I said, I'm being called at NUTA
Yes.
National Awards. Those are the things that we're looking out for to make an impact at the University of South Africa, because I'm not going as an individual.
Yes.
I'm shortlisted as a staff member of the University of South Africa. So the projects that are there is to showcase that as at Unisa, what we are doing is impactful, not for only us as Unisans, but also for the country.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And thanks for stopping by and sharing all the wisdom that you've shared with us today, from your own research journey to how you are engaging with students, the kind of supports that you offer, pouring in, especially as a person that's been a student at the university and now an employee, and how everything has sort of worked together. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you for having me.